basically a global government run by private banks. So this is out in the open, and then it's clear that's why they're wrecking things by design, is to force us onto the wreckage of our society that will basically be this new global government. And, you know, like you said last time when you were on with us about a month ago, that clearly the government is now trying to destroy America by design. Can you speak to the SDR, this move to a new level of the Ponzi scheme?
Well, Alex, the SDR is a basket of currencies. It's made up of other currencies, including the dollar. In fact, the dollar is the largest component of the SDR. So I think when China and Russia brought that up, they were simply trying to point out that the United States was in enough financial difficulty that maybe the puppet states in Europe would distance themselves a little bit and stop supporting such an aggressive American policy in the rest of the world. And not only toward Iran, but it's also toward Russia. You know, we have Hillary Clinton in Georgia the other day rebuking Russia for occupying Georgia. Well, they don't occupy Georgia. So I think that that is not meant as a serious solution to the problem. And I think when the UN report raises it, it's really meant to call attention to the fact that there isn't a stable dollar and that the whole world relies on the dollar as reserve currency, and that the behavior of the United States government running up the massive budget deficits with wars they can't afford, with bank bailouts they can't afford, and running up massive trade deficits by offshoring the industry and the professional service jobs, that I think it's directed at calling attention to the fact that American leadership is not long for this world, that it's run out because the resource base for it has run out.
Doctor, when we come back, let's talk about how you see this unfolding then, and how an attack on Iran factors in, and why the establishment seems to think in their own writings that a large global war, as the Rand Corporation said 2 years ago, would somehow prop up the Anglo-American Dutch / Israeli alliance, and what you see happening in the U.S. economy. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Originally, we the people have entrusted government to be the guardians of currency, to ensure purity, content, weights, and measures of gold and silver coins citizens would use for commerce. This reinstalled confidence after the demise of the fiat continental system, wisdom being lost with time. The government we once entrusted to protect from counterfeit has colluded with private business, creating the largest fiat counterfeiting scheme our country ever experienced. This is not only a transfer of power to an institution that is not accountable to our elected government, but has also caused the dollar to lose more than 90 cents of its original value. Now foreign governments are trying to divest themselves from this once world reserve currency. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I'm offering a book that explains how the system works. Call me today at 800-686-2237. I will give you a silver dollar free just for purchasing the book. Call today at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElhaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net.
Who is Sam Andy? Sam Andy Foods is life insurance in a can. Life insurance you can eat. Sam Andy Foods has been serving loyal customers worldwide for over 50 years. Why so long? Simple. Sam Andy Foods have perfected the taste and quality of low moisture foods. Foods that last 15 to 25 years. And that's made us an industry leader among families, sportsmen, outdoorsmen, churches, schools, people living in remote areas, U.S. troops in wartime, and many others. Sam Andy is America's leading supplier of over 100 high-quality, low-moisture products and everything you need to survive in any emergency. Visit SamAndy.com today for your free full-color catalog and free trial subscription to the Survival Times newsletter. That's SamAndy.com. Just like it sounds, SamAndy.com. Or call toll-free 1-888-331-0358. Your one-stop shop for everything your family needs to prepare for any emergency. Sam Andy Foods. Life insurance in a can.
I was sitting in traffic, listening to the
Folks, we
radio.
sit here and we analyze this coldly every day. But when I'm sitting back, at 11 o'clock at night reading a book, about to turn the light out and go to bed, it just really dawns on me. We really do have a bunch of Ponzi scheme crooks that wrecked the most wealthy, powerful, wonderful nation in history. And we've gone from the apple of the world's eye, the light of liberty, to the country that promotes all these illegal wars. We've just basically invaded Costa Rica with 44 ships. It's got their country in an uproar. We're a nation that promotes torture, secret arrest, and it's only getting worse. Dr. Roberts, as we went to break, I threw out the question, how do you see this unfolding, and how does an attack on Iran play into it from your historical research?
Well, Alex, they want to attack Iran for several reasons, and I suppose the most important is this ideology of American hegemony. And this is the trouble with the one world stuff. If the Americans talk about one world, what they mean is an American world. and so if you look at the Middle East, what's the remaining independent countries? That is, what countries are not American puppet states? And we have only Iran and Syria. Now, the reasoning, I'm told from the people that I still know in Washington, is that Syria they can ignore, because if they knock off Iran, Syria will simply voluntarily become an American puppet state. And so they're after Iran. They would love to have one of their color revolutions and get rid of it without military means, but they want to get rid of it at any cost. And you can see that's the reason for all the years of demonization and lies. And most recently, when the United States somehow got the Security Council of the UN to go along with sanctions. What did the Americans do? The minute they got the UN sanctions, Washington then added their own unilateral sanctions.
Which Ron Paul has pointed out on the House floor, and he's read the international law and our national law. That's an act of war. And now in Germany, they're not fueling Iranian aircraft. I mean, this is insane.
Yes, but you see what Washington is doing. It's using the UN sanctions as a basis for its own. Well, the Russians said, you've double-crossed us. And the media will never differentiate between the UN sanctions, which are not so severe, and the American sanctions that have been added to them. And the ships that we have dispatched, allegedly to stop Iranian ships on the high seas and inspect their cargoes, another act of war, they're not going to simply be enforcing the UN sanctions. So we double-crossed the Security Council again, and we're hoping that some sort of instant will come out of this so that we can have some justification. I don't know what happened to the... so we can have some kind of a justification for the attack on Iran. Now, if you